So if you watched my last video, you all know I've been buying crate loads of DJ vinyl from DJs that used to spin, party music from, old school rave vinyl from back in the day. So in a collection I came across, I found this guy. Yeah, wow, like it's actually in really good shape, considering the party atmosphere back then. There's no split seams. There's really light wear on the corners. It's just there's no like fray along the opening on the side here. When I saw it, I was like, oh my god, and Agnelli and Nelson, El Nino, I gotta put this in a outer jacket. And like, but yeah, I was really like impressed. It would make me think that this particular record wasn't in a gigging DJ's record case at the time, because there would have been like a lot of like wear on the corners and just like fray on the opening, especially back then, like when DJs were really in a haste to get their next record up on the deck, so they had to pile through their case and find the record. If they didn't have it organized, ahead of time, which we really didn't. We kind of spun on the fly, good DJs did. So. But yeah, I was really impressed, so that made me think that this was probably just kept in a closet like the whole time. But anyway, yeah, this is Agnelli and Nelson's El Nino. It's on Xtravaganza Recordings. I always want to say Agnelli, I don't know why, but anyhow, this label Xtravaganza it's like a household name for the era, well known for Airscape's La Esperanza. It's definitely worth a video on its own. But El Nino, in my opinion, was one of their more notable releases. This record came out in '98 and was a good, solid trance track. It really personified those long snare roll breakdowns that took forever. It really defined, that era of trance where everybody was on the floor, and then once the beat finally hit, everybody was up dancing. If I were a gambling man, I'd say the first time you heard it was on Paul Oakenfold's Transport. So I'll let that sink into your skull for a second and rattle around in there. That song that came in after Ascension Someone? Well, that's this track here. As for myself, I heard this at parties quite a few times. I didn't really listen to Paul Oakenfold's Transport CD because I just thought it was too mainstream, I guess you could say. But yeah, that's what really made this song popular, because that CD was by far the most popular trance CD of that era. For myself, besides for at parties, I think I heard it on a mixtape, not CD, but a tape. It was like a mystery tape, from the San Francisco Bay Area back in '99. All I remember is Bulgarian's Signum remix of Travel, or Signum remix of Bulgarian's Travel followed it up. And a really good CD. If anyone in the Bay Area or myself knows, please correct me in the comments down below. Anyways, this record starts with a standard 4x4 beat, and then the mid-range and bass comes in rather early for a trance track of its era, 34 beats after you cue it. That's really when the record becomes recognizable. The intro melody is just really ingrained in my brain. I don't know what it is about, it just kind of reaches out and just kind of grabs you. The most notable part of this record, though, is definitely the sweeps. The really bright strings that kind of fade in and out and play throughout the whole tune. They're filtered just perfectly. Just go listen to it if you don't know what I'm talking about. It's done fantastically. Anyhow, then it breaks and the main melody takes over. It's a really simple, plucked melody, really short. But the main thing about the break is that really personifies those long snare rolls that slowly built up, in that era of trance. It literally took fucking forever. It's so much that it just shows the age of this record. But when it finally did, it was taken over by another string that really hung powerfully in the mix over the song. It was just really bright, good flange. It was fantastic. It was just it's such a great tune. It makes me feel like I'm rolling just when I listen to it. When it finally breaks off, it kind of breaks off into a single note bouncy bass, and that's when the Spanish spoken word comes in, and that's what really gives the song its character and its uniqueness. Personally, I've always liked this portion of the record, even though I've never been able to understand it because of its Spanish. The woman's voice just had a soothing feeling to it. And it wasn't until now, until I actually cared to translate it, while I don't care to say it in English right now, I will put it in the translation description below, but I definitely say after reading it, it definitely sounds a million times better in Spanish. Now that brings me to a rumor that I heard about this song. Apparently there's a few special releases of this track where the Spanish part is actually spoken in English. I have no idea if that's true or not, but a friend of mine swears up and down that Paul Oakenfold, he played a version of it that was in English when he played out live. I never myself came across it or a recording of him playing such a record that was done in such a style. I've heard nothing about it from the record sites I frequent, but if I do happen to find out about it, I'll definitely let you know. But if this rumor is true, and there happens to be an English version out there somewhere, even if it's a freaking dub plate, I want to hear from you. I'm dying to know, so post in the comments below. Anyways, back to the tune. The intro melody comes back in with that bright string that I mentioned, and that's when you mix out, and that's pretty much it. So there it is. Agnelli and Nelson's El Nino. If you were partying back then, you were sitting on the floor during that breakdown, there wasn't a shred of your body that hadn't got up when the beat finally dropped. It's really just a true gem of the trance era from the late, 98. If anyone has any stories about this record, let me know in the comments down below. I definitely want to hear them and connect with you. If you like this video and you want to hear me ramble about more old songs that had an impact on the state of the party music back then, please like and subscribe. Also, I'm a vinyl reseller, so if you're interested in buying some old school trance vinyl as well as other genres, check out my Discogs inventory. So I'll have that link as well as the link to the song itself down below. As always, thanks for watching.